Daniil Medvedev begins his U.S. Open title defense in a week. Daniil Medvedev has compared himself to Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic as he discussed feeling like a target ahead of his U.S. Open title defense. The world no. 1 won his maiden Grand Slam trophy in Flushing Meadows last year and will now attempt to defend his crown, though feels it has gotten harder to beat players who are vying to get a win over him. With just a week until the U.S. Open begins, Medvedev returns to Flushing Meadows as the world number 1 and defending champion. The Russian stunned Djokovic in straight sets during last year's final to win his first, and so far only, Grand Slam crowd, then dethroning the Serb as the world number 1 briefly in February and again in June. While the 26-year-old is feeling prepared ahead of his first attempt at retaining a Grand Slam crowd, he has admitted to feeling like a target since becoming a major champion and world number 1. Comparing himself to Nadal and Djokovic when explaining how other players are more motivated to beat him. On the tour, people consider me differently now that I won a Grand Slam and became number 1 in the rankings, he told Eurosport. I became a target, and that's normal. In fact, there are 2 different scenarios, one positive for me and a negative one. While Medvedev thought he could use his status to his advantage and intimidate opponents, he also knew that it made his rivals even more desperate to beat him than before. He explained, if I start a match the right way, if everything works for me, sometimes I can feel that in the head of some players they say to themselves, today, he is playing incredible, what can I do? But when I don't start well, and I begin to miss, my opponents will think, there, I have to give everything to beat the world number 1, a Grand Slam winner. And the 26-year-old compared himself to Nadal and Djokovic as he explained how significant it was for other players to earn a victory over him nowadays. Adding, they want to go for a big win. Because 6 months later, nobody will say, okay, he won that match, but that day Medvedev wasn't good, or Rafael Nadal didn't play well. No, what will remain is the fact they have beaten Medvedev, or Nadal, or Djokovic. Medvedev also reflected on his 2022 season so far, starting by leading by 2 sets to love in the Australian Open final before losing it and needing 8 months to win his first title of the season in Los Cabos.